so much as a warning. Life hangs in the balance. Human endeavor turns to chaos. And within seconds, nothing will ever be the same. Ever. Once again, we have gathered together some of the most shocking moments of destruction ever caught on camera. A neighborhood is totally decimated from a series of explosions at a fireworks factory. The roof on a Great American baseball stadium collapses as a result of a construction accident. If adrenaline is your thing, welcome to Destroyed in Seconds. These ground-shaking fireworks are in the process of obliterating an entire Danish neighborhood. And it all started when a small box of fireworks slipped from an employee's hands and ignited. Kolding, Denmark. A fire has erupted at a fireworks factory, giving residents an unwelcome display of pyrotechnics. The factory is permitted to house 1,200 tons of fireworks inside the compound. This enormous cache of fireworks has emergency crews on alert. A massive explosion could be imminent. But the firefighters are forced to stand back as thousands of fireworks explode and spray the surrounding areas. It's literally an incendiary situation, so residents are ordered to evacuate. Darkness falls, and the firework-fueled chain reaction shows no sign of slowing down. In fact, it turns critical. Frightened locals take shelter miles away, just in time. The main storage area of the compound ignites. A series of massive explosions engulf the neighborhoods within a mile radius of the factory. The largest of the explosions measures a 2.0 magnitude earthquake on the Richter scale. The delinquent firework display continues as the factory burns throughout the night. Eventually, the factory runs out of pyrotechnics and burns itself out. Daylight, and the widespread destruction is revealed. Over 350 buildings have collapsed or are damaged, and more than 100 houses are destroyed. 500 people are left homeless. Despite the immense damage caused by the blasts, no civilians were injured, thanks to the diligent efforts of the local emergency crews. The factory had permits for just 1,200 tons of fireworks, but an additional 800 tons were being stored inside the compound. It's believed these excess tons caused the massive explosions that decimated the surrounding areas. Top Fuel hydroplane racer Dave Prominence and his engine man, famous Amos Satterley, give their boat a final once-over. Their biggest concern is the craft's breakaway safety capsule. After a thorough inspection, it's good to go. The boat is in the water and Dave is ready to race. They get a great jump. Dave dominates the race all the way to the finish. But as he crosses the finish line at over 200 miles per hour, the victory is short-lived.
220.04 miles an hour, but the boat was destroyed. A very unfortunate situation.
Debris litters the lake as Dave floats helplessly inside the capsule.
What you see is all the white stuff out of the water is the foam that they pack in the bow of the boat.
The rescue boat arrives and the divers hit the water.
So the rescue crew at this time out at the just another toy machine. And we will relay to you as soon as possible the status on the driver, Dave Prominence.
Rescuers extract Dave from the capsule and place him inside the gurney.
And the rescue crew has relayed to me that they are in communication with Dave at this time. Of course, they're going to bring him over to the paramedics.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed, but it looks like Dave is okay. A 220-mile-an-hour crash. Thank God for the capsule.
An uninjured Dave couldn't agree more. He praises the advent of the safety capsule.
I don't care what it costs people. You wouldn't be talking to me right now. Sitting in them, you're so safe. 3 passes in the fuel boat, I felt safer than 4 years sitting in my old boat.
Norwegian base jumper Hans Long is a veteran of more than 4,000 base jumps and 1,800 skydives. Long wears a special jumpsuit called a wingsuit that shapes the body into an airfoil in order to create lift. In simple terms, it enables him to fly.
Yeah!
This jump is from Norway's 5,250-foot-high Bjorketen Peak.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Woo!
Long accelerates to 140 miles per hour in just 10 seconds. Soaring dangerously close to the face of the cliff, Hans deploys his parachute to prevent a collision. But it's too late.
No!
Bjorketen Peak, Norway.
1. Woo!
Base jumper Hans Long soars from the 5,250-foot summit and travels at nearly 140 miles per hour. He flies too close to the cliff face, and not even his parachute can save him.
No! No! No!
Long is stuck in a large shrub nearly 200 feet above the ground. How does a veteran of more than 2,000 jumps end up like this?
2, 1. Woo!
Long miscalculates his position. To avoid colliding with the cliff, he releases his parachute. But instead of pulling him away from the rock, his chute sends him straight toward it. Falling out of control, a tree snags his chute, trapping him.
Åh, så dumt altså, ligge der og fly langs med veggen, ikke brekke skikkelig ut og så dumpe. For en puck!
It's more than 45 excruciating minutes before rescuers finally arrive.
This is Hans Lange. I'm together here with Joel and a very good rescue team. The helicopter is coming right now to get me. I hope that this will be a nice tour down.
Hans is lucky to be alive. He suffered a severely fractured leg. Had the shrub not been there to cushion the fall, Long's injuries could have been fatal. For now, Hans Long is safe. But maybe not for long, because he plans to jump again as soon as his wounds are healed. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 400 tons of twisted metal, hundreds of crushed bleachers, and a snapped 567-foot crane. This is $100 million worth of damage to the brand new Milwaukee Brewers Stadium. Days earlier, construction teams gather to watch this 2,100-ton crane hoist this massive 18,000 square foot section of the stadium's new roof.
What the hell is it? What's going on here?
That sound is the crane's support system failing.
Hey, watch it!
The 2,100-ton crane topples over, and the roof structure plummets 250 feet onto the stadium. A combination of factors may have led to the crash, primarily operating the crane in wind speeds beyond safety limits. Prior to this incident, 261 days of construction remained. But the disaster added another $100 million and a year of labor before the stadium was finally completed.
I'm looking for the ultimate statement. Ken Carter, world's greatest daredevil.
Veteran stunt driver Ken the Mad Canadian Carter plans to smash all existing records by jumping a jet car 1 mile across the St. Lawrence River.
It's never been done, and it never will be done ever again. So that's where it's at, and we're going to get it done.
Ken clears 5 acres of land, paves a 1,400-foot takeoff road, and builds an 85-foot-high launch ramp.
We can do anything that we want to do, and I mean that, if you work at it hard enough.
He builds a rocket-powered Lincoln Continental with wings. The jet car is fueled by pressurized hydrogen peroxide and nitrogen. On September 25th, 1976, Carter is determined to rocket into the history books by jumping his car from Canada to the United States at nearly 300 miles per hour. Unfortunately, inclement weather, mechanical difficulties, and financial trouble caused Carter's jump to be postponed 3 times.
It's one hell of a challenge, and I believe that we're going to be successful with it.
Eventually, Carter's backers lose patience and money. Fearing that Carter has lost his nerve, they find themselves a new madman.
I always liked the state of New York, so I'm sure I hope they like me when I get there.
Behind Carter's back, they hire stunt driver Kenny Powers to fly the car to glory.
I'm praying and hoping that I can make everything function and give it the best shot that I got.
Powers is an experienced driver, but he's never driven a jet car before. This is his shot. This is his moment.
Do it now! Go!
I'm ready to go.
Stunt driver Kenny Powers is a last-minute replacement for Ken the Mad Canadian Carter.
Do it now!
He'll try to fly this jet car a mile across a river into the USA and the record books. After 5 years and more than $1 million, his flight lasts only 9 seconds. Powers travels only 506 feet, 4,774 feet short of his target. How does this stunt go wrong so fast? Bumps in the poorly paved takeoff road cause the car to bounce. This cracks the vehicle's fiberglass body. Powers is tossed about inside the cockpit, so he is unable to keep his foot on the accelerator. As a result, the car, which is supposed to leave the ramp at 270 miles per hour, only reaches 180. So there is insufficient momentum to make the jump. The vehicle then gets caught by the wind, which tears off parts of the broken body, causing the chutes to deploy prematurely. Powers breaks 8 vertebrae, cracks 3 ribs and fractures a wrist. And as for Ken, the mad Canadian Carter,
This is my dream. This is the end of my dream. I don't care if I never jump again.
he never achieves his goal of jumping the St. Lawrence River. A Polish folk dancing troupe performs for a delighted audience. The next morning, en route to the next show, they're caught in a severe thunderstorm. Then, from out of the woods, a tornado appears. Tornadoes are rare in Poland. This one is a category F1 with winds that blow from 73 to 112 miles per hour. Within a few horrifying seconds, the twister rocks the bus violently, then flips it onto its side and drags it down the road. The passengers are tossed about mercilessly by the force of the tornado. The sheer weight of the 25,000-pound tour bus saves it from the complete destruction suffered by this car. The area surrounding the accident site shows the immense power of this relatively small tornado. And despite their close call, they're performing again within days. Every October, 700 balloons and 75,000 spectators descend upon Albuquerque, New Mexico for the International Hot Air Balloon Fiesta. But the majestic display belies imminent danger, and accidents do happen. In 1984, sudden strong gusts of wind forced the balloonists to make emergency landings. As the winds increase, so does the danger. Many are forced to seek landings in precarious locations. Among the balloonists in peril are a pilot and his passenger. The pilot tries to steer his craft onto a soccer field, but there's an obstacle. The two men collide with the power lines and become stuck on the high voltage cables.
Call a rescue or something. We should go call an ambulance.
The International Hot Air Balloon Fiesta in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Strong winds have forced the balloonist and his passenger directly into power lines. And now they can do nothing but hang there.
Call a rescue or something. We should go call an ambulance. It just burned through the roofs.
7,200 volts of electricity ignite the propane tanks. The explosion severs the guy lines and sends the basket plummeting 30 feet to the ground. The pilot is thrown from the basket as it hits the ground.
The whole stupid basket disintegrated.
He suffers a broken wrist and a concussion. The passenger suffers a broken shoulder, a fractured pelvis, and several broken ribs. Hot air balloons are inherently at the mercy of the wind. When the airstream shifts unexpectedly, it's no longer the pilot that has ultimate control of the flight.
This is becoming a serious typhoon. Please take all the necessary precautions. Stock up on water, batteries, candles, etc., etc.
Typhoon Omar. Squalling winds and high surf make their way towards the tiny island of Guam. Storm chasers Jim Leonard and Barbara White stand ready to capture its destruction.
We have Typhoon Omar, a nice tie-dye located to the east-southeast of the island.
And we are waiting for it.
120-mile-per-hour winds make this a Category 4 hurricane. Through the torrential rains, these two storm chasers eagerly await the eye wall.
I wouldn't miss a great eye wall like this for anything.
This is where wind speeds are most destructive. When Omar makes land, the storm's true power is witnessed. The flying roof snaps the telephone pole in half like a matchstick.
This is really Iowa City.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The storm intensifies. And so does the imminent danger.
We are extremely lucky.
This is actually the wooden frame of a roof ripped from a nearby home. It narrowly misses the two storm chasers. In all, Typhoon Omar caused over $600 million in damage and claimed several lives. When the storm finally passes, storm chasers Jim Leonard and Barbara White were extremely lucky not to be on the casualty list. I'm Ron Pitts, and we'll see you next time on Destroyed in Seconds.